everyone, Cat and Little Man here, your favorite ginger bibliophile and favorite widow snuggly man that you're really here for, huh? We all know. You're here for the puppies, and there's this fussy big girl, and then I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And yes, it's another Hocus Pocus reference, because we got the Winifred, who's totally me, Mary, and I am blanking on her name, the other Sanderson sister. She was never my favorite. Sarah, yeah. Yes. I think you might be a Winifred, too. And yeah, that is freaking awesome. But I won't torture y'all with the entire song if y'all didn't get that reference. Because yes, there is a song. They sing it. Or my other favorite line. Oh, look, another glorious morning. Makes me sick. But we're actually not going to do October. We're going to do our September wrap up. Only pretty much a month late. No, that's not how you get anything. I'll give you a snuggle. We know how much you hate snuggles. Mm-hmm. She's not in her snuggle time. She's only friendly a couple hours a day. But as usual, we're going to start with the physical books. Though some of these are fitting for spooky season. Because we got to kick off Summerween in August and just keep it going through Halloween. But the beginning of September was a really bad time for me. So I needed some happy and, comforting nostalgia. So I went with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, because that is also a very appropriate September 1st read of, going to King's Cross and Hogwarts for the first time. I'm not going to tell you what this is about, because, yeah, it's only been out for over 20 years. Y'all already know. She might be a problematic author, but this is my childhood. It makes me happy. And then I read Mammoth by John Varley. And I was so excited. It's time travel and mammoths and an eccentric billionaire that, is supposedly not like all the other billionaires, but then he is. He's a snobby prick that goes, I have money, I can do whatever I want, and nobody can fight me because I will bury them. And yeah, he gets it in his head that he's going to do something eccentric and bonkers, and it goes wrong. And instead of, dealing with it, he just screws over everyone else. The ending is kind of satisfying, but yeah, this is going in the unhaul pile. But I only paid 50 cents for it a few years ago, so I really don't feel bad about it. And then the Hot Headless Check series. Yeah, the Night Trackers. We had Vampire Set Ahead, which is actually the 5th book in the series. And no werewolves allowed. The second one in the series. Because I've been finding these at my favorite, used bookstore in the city. And they don't always have them an entire series in order, so I get them as I find them. And basically, this is an urban fantasy that takes place in Manhattan, I think. One of them New York cities. And we have all these different, various creatures, which I love the start of these books because it always lists the different creatures, which I don't know if y'all can tell it with the glare, but it's, here's what they are. It is basically explained through our, female main characters, thoughts. Like, we have Fae, Sigh. We could be here all day if you want to go through every single species. Your choice. Light elves, how art I better than thou? And it's at the start of every book, but the snarky, explanations are slightly different every time. And yeah, this is her fighting suit. So no wonder she gets screwed up on occasion. It's just a leather bra and some too tight pants. That's not really gonna protect you from, road rash and getting stabbed and whatnot. But we've got, this one is, we have werewolves that are going missing and being very, pricks about asking for help. Because we got the alpha werewolf, who is your typical, Yeah, dude with the microphone, alpha male, except for he's extra hairy. Actually, some of them are, but you know. And it's like, hey, they're going missing. And if we ever find them, they're always dead. You're gonna freaking help us. They do. Stuff goes wrong because otherwise, what the heck? There is a little bit spicy with it. And then we got some vampires. This one was, out of the five, was my least favorite of the series. This one is more paranormal romance than urban fantasy. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. But there's also mushy and crying and blah. There's snark, there's action. But there's also emotional blah, which ain't my thing. Still good. I did enjoy it. But this was like 3 stars as opposed to like 4.5 stars. So, but definitely read the book that I finished this month first. Because there is another vampire book in this series. It's the second one. And then this comes off of stuff from that one. And Franny, now you're just being dirty. Quit being a perv on camera. Save that for your OnlyFans account. Got your doggies only. I don't know if y'all can see in the corner, but she just looked at me and licked her lips. Yes, that was some good timing, you comedic perv. She's just mad because it's not breakfast time yet, and she's been yelling at me for the last 4 hours, trying to tell me that she hasn't gotten her treats when I gave them to her. Yes, I know, you've had your treats and all your foodies. And then, of course, I had to go with my favorite horror author, Dean Koontz and Whispers. And this was really cool because it takes place, well, it bounces between Napa and St. Helena, which are right next to each other in Northern California, and LA in Southern California. And I got to spend a few years in wine country in Napa for my like adoptive ish parents. I dated a guy, it didn't work. I kept his parents though. So, yep. I'm a complicated mess. So it was really cool to see a book that takes place there. A little bit time before they got there though, because they lived there for like 20 years, and I got to stay there for like 3. So, and it's basically it's a murder mystery. But there is, of course, it's Dinkus, so there is a messed up twist to our murder mystery. Oscar. Yeah, that's not even the kitty. I can tell the way you're looking. Somebody has the audacity to be in their driveway, and they're not paying the peanut butter toll, so they gotta have a talking to. But we have like this, surprisingly, it's the screenwriter getting all the attention instead of, just the actors. That's in LA, and she's suddenly like this, hot, everybody wants her, script writer. And then some dude breaks into her house and tries to off her. It don't go well. And then there's some twists from there because it wouldn't. It's not a Dean Koontz if it's just a straight up murder mystery. Is a widow man. Mwah. Mwah. Gulpy gulps. Yeah. Num num num. Crazies. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Show everyone how cute and buff you are. We got the cute cuddler and the fussy hussy. So, yep, we got a murder mystery that's a little cliche romance of, hey, we've known each other a week. We're totally in love. Which is kind of stupid, but whatevs. Thankfully, it's not that important to the story. There's all kinds of creep factor and unbelievable stuff. Not as atmospheric, but there are some scenes, and when you understand what the title Whispers is whew, makes your skin crawl. So that was a good time. And then the last book off the TBR, finally, The Vampire Sextet. I love vampires. There was 2 out of the 6 stories in here that had any potential. I DNF'd the last one. I should have DNF'd some other ones in here. Yes, I should. Because I've been reading this since May, and it took me till September to read 6 short stories. Because they just were not good. They were not my style at all. Oh, you just gonna slap me, huh? Usually you just grab the chest. Now you're gonna slap me in the face. That's a Franny move. Is the accent on mama? Okay, I forgive you. So, thankfully, this was last year's library book haul from their once a year Friends of the Library sale. As a hardback, it was only $1. I'll be giving it back to them if I can't offload it at my favorite used bookstore, probably next year. Where they sell it for a half of like the cover price on the back. They give you credit for half of that half, assuming they take it. But because they give cash on Wednesdays and credit on Saturdays, and it's an hour away, we only make it on Saturdays, so that's fine with me. Yes, you're just gonna be a grabby. It's a good thing you're a cute, puppy. Because if you're a human, you'd be getting in trouble for insulting women. Like, because everyone would want me if I was human, because I'm so cute. There's no ego there, is there? No, no ego at all. My cute little man. And this is a side of him that nobody sees outside of the internet. Because he's just snuggly little mama's boy. Everybody else in the outside of the house is a puppy kicking demon. As y'all have heard him cuss out everyone for being outside. So only me and the boyfriend get to see the snuggly puppy. Yes. Oh, good. And so let's get into. I had a Kindle Unlimited subscription. So what did I read? And a few books off of Libby. We got into Prisoner's Gold by Chris Kosneski. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It is action. It is adventure. It's a nice treasure hunt. And I don't remember it as well as I should because that was, at this point, dang near 2 months ago. And like 20 something books ago because we read 14 books last month. And I've read like 10 this month. That's one of those I kind of have to like pull up my Goodreads and go, oh yeah, what did I start this? What was it about? But it was a good time. Like Chris Kosneski is a good, stand-in for when I'm waiting for James Rollins novels. And then we also read Ghostsmith by Nikki Pau Prado. I hope I said that right. This was the second book in Bonesmith series that I learned about from Kat over at Kat Reads It. Y'all need to go check her out. She's very fun, very sweet, very perky. Like you can't watch her and not smile. She does a lot of like feel good romance stuff, which ain't really my thing. And I still love watching all of her shorts. But usually sometimes she has some really cute like Belle and whatever tops too. So yep. Excuse me. And then I read Demons of Good and Evil by Kim Harrison. It was the 17th book in her Hollow series. I think the 18th is out like this month. I think it came out, yes, last week. I don't. I'm behind. I love this series. I love this author. But it was supposed to be a 13-book series, so there was an epilogue that kind of gives away everything because like, all right, it's the end of the series. We'll tell you how everybody's doing in the future. So now all that, oh my god, I have to have this book. I have to find out what happens. Suspense is kind of gone because I know who's alive, who's not, who's with who isn't. It's kind of given away because this is, it's every couple of months, even though it takes like a year to put out a book. It's been like 3 months, but the epilogue was like 50 years in the future. I work for a living. I can't justify a hardback when I know what's going to happen, essentially. But she is a witch that is a demon that isn't a demon because she's a witch. And she's dealing with like all the vampires and the pixies and all kinds of stuff and whooping their butts because you don't try the redhead, especially when she has powerful friends and is a force to be reckoned with herself because she is queen of the demons and a powerful witch. So it's like it's an urban fantasy that takes place in Cincinnati. And my things I love, it's very character driven. We have Jinx, who he has the best freaking lines. He's this little like 3-inch pixie, but do not let the size fool you. He is freaking deadly. And he's got the best snark ever. He cracks me up. But you've got the romance, the friendships, the politics, the good versus evil, how screwed up the system is, but the good guys get to win after getting screwed over a good bit. I mean, this is book 17, and she's still learning her lessons, though they're not the same ones she was having to learn in the beginning. So, we've got character growth, but for me, it is very much it's the friendship and the snark. I love it. Like, Jinx can't make it, smart aleck comments without occasionally insulting Tinkerbell or being a perv with it. So, yeah, he has talked about her outfits and her, toys as insults before. Yes. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I couldn't say any of them without getting some, trouble with this video. So do with that what you will. Except for the one book where he decides he has a crush on Tinkerbell. But it will make you happy. It will make you cry. It is a good freaking time. I read Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. This one was disappointing because I enjoyed her first book in her Wicked series, this Kingdom of the Wicked, and it was just dark and atmospheric. We got witches versus the Prince of Hell. Later series got a little bit too romantic, but also very dark and atmospheric. This one had a really good plot and a lot of potential. It was her first foray into full-on adult, and it showed. I did a full-on review of that one. There is a great plot, but it was hidden under. We can only talk about it, move it forward, while teasing about who's gonna get the other one, where they're going, and the one that enjoys it actually loses because they're weird that way. But yeah. And then I read Awakening of the Pack and Resurgence of the Pack. The third book came out after literally the day after my Kindle Unlimited subscription ended. So sad. These are both by Heather G. Harris. They're the next two in the Other Wolf series. Like, we did 3 books last year. Because there's this whole Other Realm series that you have to kind of read in a specific order. If anyone's interested, maybe I'll do a video on that at some point. Because we have Jinx, and then we have this one, obviously a werewolf series. We have a witch series, and they're all kind of interconnected. But it's an urban fantasy that takes place throughout the UK. A lot of it is in, Scotland, which, being Scottish but never having gotten to go there, I freaking love that. One day, I need to see where my grandparents are from. And plus, castles and cloudy and it's good for us pasty gingers. That probably still need sunscreen. But there's attitude, there's romance, there's lots of action, and do not mess with Lucy. She is queen of the werewolves for a reason. She might be a pretty delicate girl, but she will mess your crap up. And I love it. It's chicks actually not stabbing each other in the back. Is nice. And then I read Grecian Manifesto, which is part of the Sean Wyatt series by Ernest Dempsey. Again, this is another archaeological thriller with tons of action, and it's, you already know that is one of my genres. I love a good thriller. Give me some action and some history and some science and lots of blowing stuff up and attitude. Yes. And this freaking delivered. This is the second book I've read from him in this series. I think all of them are on Kindle Unlimited. But I'll start reading one and then it will go, hey, you should read this. It's kind of like that. And I bounce around sometimes because I found 5 different authors that are in that genre. None of them are quite James Rollins, but he does a really good freaking job. He might be a runner-up contender. And just so good. I freaking loved it. And then Song of the Sea by Deborah Grace White. I read a couple fairy tales by her a bit ago when I was first starting out my Booktube channel. And if the title doesn't give it away, it's a Little Mermaid retelling. And y'all already know, I love me some Little Mermaid because, yay! Hello, we don't get that much representation. We had her and Merida, who also pretty much gets the shaft. Nobody remembers her, which is. Mm. But yes, I love it. And this one, like, yeah, in Little Mermaid, Triton is redeemable. This one of, oh, I love hating her father. He is the freaking worst. So, like, it is a romance, but it's her getting her stuff together and coming into her power, and Daddy gonna freaking pay, and so is our evil Ursula. And yeah, this has a little bit more growth than the actual like original cartoon Little Mermaid had. But so I mean, it's a fairy tale, it's a romance, but it's also try me. Just because I ain't got no voice don't mean I can't ruin you. But I'm sweet because she's a princess, but she don't really want to be a princess. It's like and the like, yeah, it seems all cutesy and glamoury, but there's way too many rules. And no, thank you. I'm curious. I want to explore. I want to do what I want to do. And she manages to find a way to do that and get her act together. And don't be trying her. So I love it. Make them strong, make them feisty instead of this delicate. I need a guy to save you thing that we were doing way back in the day. This one's more of a modern retelling where I can manage. I might let you help me because it does make things easier, but I got this. And so we get our happy ending. A couple of them actually. We get our family drama. It was a good time. So yeah, actually I've read I think three by her because she has a couple different series of fairy tales. Some of them are the same princesses, but they're told in a different way. And I freaking love it. I think this is a 4-book series. And I think again it has Belle and Sleeping Beauty and someone else, but I only had time to fit in one. Ariel's gonna win, even though they don't call her Ariel in this one. So, yep, that was my September wrap up. Only at the very end of October. So, hopefully, y'all enjoyed that. Do any of those sound good? Drop a line, let me know, and I will see you soon. Bye. Happy reading.